Hello, my name is Anna Bryson, and I am a designer with Michaels. And today we are going to be making the layered foam scene. And now I have my little light in front of me. Sorry, it's like right here in front of the light. So if you want to go ahead and spotlight me, we will start working on our craft. Actually, I think it's just my straight. There we go. My straight camera is up front. Well, no, I can't see the spot. Is it my spotlight? Because I can't see that.
Now it's not showing. Okay, 1 second.
Sure. And that way I'll go through. There we go. I can see. There we go. Thank you. Let me adjust my light a little bit. Okay. So for the layered, we're making this layered scene. You will need the purple kit for Camp Creatology purple kit. And in here, I will show you the items that we need to make this craft today. I'm gonna take this off. I've already cut my little clear stickers. And in here, there's all kinds of cool things. So first, there's this book here. And in the book, we're going to flip back to, let's see, page 8 for layered foam scene. Sorry, that light is just like catching it perfectly. And I feel like I'm a little bit delayed. So anyways, it's a layered foam scene. And this is what we're going to follow. So I'm going to leave that out and on my desk in front of me. Probably won't be able to see it, but then you'll need lots of the foam sheets, pretty much all the colors of the foam sheets. And there's all the colors that are in there. Set that aside. You will need the scissors. You will need some of the chenille stems, which I already have kind of pulled out over here. So I'm going to hold those here. And then you're going to need the glue. Now, if you've used the glue already in several other projects for this week, you will probably need some other glue. I have this right here, and it's just a Creatology glue pen, and it is awesome, and it works just as great. So when I run out of my clear, I will move to this one. So this will dry clear also. So don't worry if you have a white glue, if you have Elmer's glue, if you have a Creatology glue, just any kid safe glue will work. I'm just going to move that one aside. I'll keep that glue. And then you will need a pencil that's not in your kit. And you will also need the, let's see, one of these foam sticker sheets that are in your kit. Let's see if I have it right. There we go. Right side up. And there is a sun template. I already have one punched out here, but you'll need this here. And you'll need to punch out all the little shapes in there, but I'm going to hold on to this one. I'm going to use this one. They've already punched out, but we'll refer to that. I'll keep both of them out, so we'll refer back to them. And that's what we'll need for our craft today. And now you won't need all of these chenille stems. I just pulled one color out of one of each color out, just so I had them, but you won't need all of these, but unless you want to use them, it's up to you. So I'm going to move this box out of my way here, and we will get started. Now I'm going to leave this finished one or kind of over here on the side, see how far I can go over to the side with it so we can still see it.
Hi, Anna. We have one question.
Yes.
Asking where is the sun stencil?
It is mine. This one I had to pull out everything on the left section of the box, and it was in between these white cardstock sheets and the sticker foam. That's where mine was. But it looks like this, just a little square. It's hard to see the sun perforated template, but this is what it looks like when it's already punched out.
So to confirm, they will have to punch the sun out, right?
Yes. See, I have this one punched out here, and you can discard all the little white pieces that you punch out, because I use this directly instead of using those.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. Okay, so I'm going to keep this, like I said, I'm going to keep this in view the best I can so we can kind of see what we need. So I'm going to start with our foam sheets here. And we need our background sheet. I'm going to flip this over, and you can see I have a background sheet that's one full sheet. And I use this kind of a sun yellow. There's another yellow that's like a lighter yellow like this here, but I'm using this brighter sun yellow. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull out pretty much one of each color down my sun guide. If you want to look on the guide here and see what they have, they show here. Oh, that light is just right. Perfect. Right here on the sun. Right here. I just went down this and picked out the colors I needed. But if you want to go ahead and pull out one of each of those colors, we can go ahead and have those ready for us. And I'm just going to start from the bottom and work my way up, meaning bottom here, down here, and work up. So I've got the blue or a purple. I'm going to do an indigo or a bright blue. I'm going to do a light, let's see, nope, that looks like a teal. A teal. And then I'm going to do light blue, a yellow, a lime green, that sun yellow that I'm using on the back, but I'll need another one too, so I can cut it. Orange, and it looks like pink. Yep, looks like that's everything I'm gonna need, and then one for the background.
Hey,
From a-
Anna, we have a
Yes,
question. We were asked, can they use the other yellow?
sure.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you
and
can use
then-
any color that you want. The cool thing about this project is, yes, you can use this, you can follow this exactly, or you can do this in any order that you want, and you can do your waves any way you want. So that's a cool thing about this project. It's going to be, if you don't want this many layers, you can make them bigger. They don't have to be so small and tight. So it's just up to you how you want to do this. If you have not opened your glue yet, you will need to open this up. And I'm going to try to do this without making a mess because I don't have paper towels right here. I have some close, but not right here. Like I said, I'm not in my normal crafting space, so I don't have everything. And there's like a stopper. So you need to pull out this stopper that's in here. And I'm going to do my best at doing it myself here. And it is not wanting to come out. There we go. So you'll need to pull out that little stopper and then discard that. I have a little trash next to me, so, and then you'll screw on your little nozzle back on. But yeah, it doesn't look like a whole lot of glue in here, and I just opened this one. So like I said, I'm gonna have this one as a backup. I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's a stopper in this one. There is not. So this one's ready for me to use whenever I run out, or if I run out. I did run out when I was making this one. So that's why I had this backup. So we'll need that glue in a little bit, but not right this minute. Okay, so whatever color you want is your background. Let's set that aside, but keep it close. I'm actually going to move these here, and I'm going to see if I can kind of keep this in view here. My screen space is kind of small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my top color that I have here. And really, I'll tell you what I did when I made this. I went and cut out a strip, and it looks like in the guide, that's what they're having you do, cut out a strip of the colors. You can see in your box 1 on your book. So what I did was I went ahead and cut out some, just like I'm just guessing maybe a 1 or 2 inch, 1.5 inch strip of each color I want to use. And if you want to use a color twice, like this, let's see, the sun yellow's in here twice, and then the bright yellow's in here twice. You'll want to cut 2, and I'm just cutting strips across, and then we will go in and we will make them wavy in a little bit. So I did 2 oranges. I'm gonna do 1 more pink because I like pink. I'm actually just gonna follow the guide that's in here. And so, and they don't, as you can see, they don't have to be perfect. I said 2 of this one. So we're just cutting strips so we can start our layering. If you want fewer layers, but wider, just make your strips a little bit wider. Let's see, there's 1 strip of this lime green. These scissors are actually pretty good in here. Got 2 yellows.
Hi, Anna, we have a few more questions.
Okay.
The first one is, how do you take the stopper out?
You just have to just use I used my fingernails and just popped it out.
Alrighty. The second one is, someone can't find their sun. So is there a substitution? And also, would they be drawing the sun with a pencil?
Yes, what you're going to do is you're going to trace the pencil onto the color that you want your sun. I'm going to use this one so you can trace it. So if you want, you can always just draw one. That's really the only alternative that we have at this moment. I don't think we have anything on the website. But yeah, if you're not finding your son, just, when we go through and do it, trace it. I mean, it's basically, it's one circle and several triangles around. So I can help you, just kind of come up with a way to do that after a while, when we get to that.
Alrighty, and then the last one would be, do they have to use the same amount of colors?
Nope, you can use whatever colors that you want. You can use, if you don't want to use all the colors that I'm using here, or if you want fewer layers, just make your strips a little bit wider like I did here. And you can do, this is the cool thing about this project. It's not very prescribed. You can do the waves how you want. You can do the colors that you want, however many layers that you want. So this is, I'm just gonna set this aside. Okay, is that good? We good for now?
Yes.
Guys, feel free to ask questions as we go along. This does not bother me at all. I would rather you ask me, and then, so you can, don't get a little bit behind in doing this, and then there's more questions. I would please ask me as you go. I have no problem stopping and answering questions. So if we're ready, so now that I have all of my strips, and I'll wait just a few minutes because I know I'm not the only, I go a little bit faster, so I'm trying not to go as fast. I'm just gonna put mine in the order that I see it on this right here, and not for any other reason. That's just the way my mind works.
We do have one suggestion. They
Yeah.
actually talk a little slower for them to follow.
Okay, sure. So we've just cut a bunch of strips. These are all the layers that I'm going to use. And like I said, they don't have to be perfect. You can see when I just put them all together like this, I mean, they're not perfect at all. They're not matching. They're not perfect. That's a-okay. Because we're gonna start to do waves. I'm just going to move this here. I'm actually going to put these side by side, because as we cut our waves, I'm going to place them on here so you can see how they'll fit. So I'm going to have my little, I'm going to move this box. I'm going to move this box completely out of the way, so I have a little bit of room that you can't really see, but it will. That way, that makes it a little bit easier to see. Because what you want is you want to fill your space here. So if you're not doing as many layers, you just want them a little bit wider so they fit on here. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing some waves, because that takes a little bit longer. So I'm just going to pick up my first strip, and you can see on here, I have a little bit waves to the left. Now, again, you don't have to follow this exactly. You can do your waves any way that you want to. You can do straight lines. They don't even have to be waves. However you want to do it. I'm going to do waves because that's how we have it in our finished project, but you can definitely do this any way that you want to do it. So I'm just going to take my scissors. Now you can take your pencil if you want to, and you can draw waves if it's easier for you to follow. But for me, I'm just going to wave it. I'm just going to wing it. So then I'm going to lay it on my background here, just so I can make my plan. So there's my first layer. And then my next layer, I'm going to do the same thing. And the cool thing about but I'm going to wave it different. I'm just going to do kind of smaller waves, maybe a little bit more evenly on the across, a little bit evenly across. But I'm going to lay this one that way. The cool thing about this foam is it's two-sided, if you will. There's no side that's front or back. So you can adjust them the way you want to adjust them as you work. Okay, so my next color in my thing is yellow, or the sun yellow. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just winging it. I'm not doing this in any specific order on my waves.
And to confirm, how many layers are we doing?
I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I did 12 layers. But you can do any layers you want. See, I can move this one over here if I want to go that way. And I like that. So I'm going to change that one up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna make these guys kind of in the middle a little bit higher than the sides, just to fill some space here. Okay, then as we go, like I said, we're just placing them in here to make sure they fit together without any spaces on the side where you can see the background. But if you do, we can tighten it up as we go. So this one, I'm going to go kind of a little bit lower, maybe less waves, but a little bit more spread out. And go here. And then I'm gonna do this one the same way, a little bit different, but similar situation. This way. And then I have it going into a yellow. Like I said, you can do these waves any way you want. Keep them high, low, keep them all consistent, just moving them around. And if you cover up something, that's okay. And just work your way down your background sheet. Now I'm just placing them on there because we're going to glue them in a little bit. But we're not gluing them yet because we want to make sure everything is going to fit right, or the way we want them to fit. Oh, looks like I'm kind of curving. There's the green. And then yellow, this one I'm going to keep kind of low. I'm going to do several hills or waves. And then I'm going to go into my blues. And I'm going to turn this way. Let's see, this one. I'm going to turn my fan on. It's kind of warm here in Texas. And we had a little bit of rain today and it got pretty humid. So it's kind of hot and sticky. And I'm working into this hot light here. Okay, there's that one. I have 2 more layers to go, but if you have more than that, that's okay. I'm going to slow down. Seems like I keep starting with this big hump on the one side. All right, and then my purple is going to finish me out. Okay, so that's my layers. So I'm gonna personally pause so you guys can kind of keep going with your layers. Like I said, if you don't like as many layers as I did, that's fine. Just reduce the layers, spread them out a little bit more. And then I'll show you kind of a way to keep this remembered exactly how you have it, that way you like it. So do we have any questions yet? Or are we doing all right?
So far, we're doing all right. There's just questions about the layers.
Okay.
But just referred back to what you said. And then the glue, they're asking how to open it. Would that be popped open in the beginning?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
They're asking how to open the glue.
Oh, yeah, when you I don't have my stopper in here anymore, and I actually have thrown it away, but when you open it up, there's a stopper in there. So you just need to get your finger in there and just pull that little plastic piece out and then throw that piece away. And then you'll just screw this back on.
Thank you.
No problem. Because we'll need that next. The waves is kind of the I'm gonna air quote hardest part. It's not necessarily super hard, but it's just trying to think, how you want to do your waves. And like you see, like you saw, I just did them. I did not do it any rhyme or reason, and they turned out pretty cool. I think it turned out pretty cool. So I'll wait a couple of minutes for that, for you guys to get that in there. And then you can see here, like I said, this is not, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the final. We're going to use some chenille stems, these guys here, to create little extra details in your waves, but we'll do that after we get our waves attached and our sun attached. Or maybe we'll do we'll do the waves first, the chenille waves, and then we'll do the sun after that. So I'm going to grab some water and we'll wait a few more minutes. And if we don't have any questions, then we'll be good to go. Just continue on. Let's see. Cleaning up my little mess here while I'm waiting for everyone to get their layers done. I'm a very straight and clean crafter. I'm not the normal. Most crafters, they clean up when they're done, and I am very I clean as I go. Okay. All right. So now we're going to attach. I don't need my scissors for right now, so I'm going to move them out of the way. For now, now we are going to attach the layers, and I'm going to refer back to here and then how we're going to do that. So I'll show you what I did was I'm going to move this out of the way just for this next part, just so I'll keep it as close as I can, but I'm going to move it out of the way just so. And what I did was I put my hand over it like this, and then I turned it over on my working table. So that way I still had my layers in relatively the same place. And then I can just add the glue and flip it over. So I've got my glue. So now we're just going to glue it on, and I'm not going to use a whole lot of glue because I ran out super fast when I did the sample. And I'm just going to kind of get the sides and a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the top. I'm gonna just put my top over to the side here, and then I'm going to flip this over. Remember, I want to see a little bit of that yellow at the top. And then I'm going to repeat that action. A little bit on the side here. I know my hand's kind of in the way. I'm sorry. It's just the way the phone is. A little bit, or yeah, my camera. I'm just gonna put a little bit in a couple of spots, and then glue it over. And remember, this glue will dry clear. So if you see it kind of coming out in a couple of places, I'm just using my fingers. I'm gonna move it over to the next layer. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going. And just add the glue as I go. Then layer it on. Now the glue will not dry immediately. So once you get all these on, if you need to shift them up a little bit, you'll still be able to do that to make sure everything will fit. I'm just going to put a couple of dots here and there. That may be a better way to do this. Use this glue here. And then you just keep building your scene here. And like I said, it's not going to dry immediately. So if we need to adjust it once we get to the bottom, we can. Oh, dropped it. My table down here. You doing all right out there?
Yes, no questions so far.
Good. This part's pretty, a little bit simpler than the layer, cutting the layers. I'm going to keep on going on my layers here. Put my little dots of glue. Okay, got a couple more. Make sure I'm still on camera here and then fall off. And you'll need that glue for a couple more things after these layers, so try to conserve as much of it as you can. You know, it's not real easy right now when you're getting down to the bottom half of the layers.
If they run out of glue, can they use maybe tape or?
You know, the tape will be harder because you have to glue from the back or tape it from the back. You can tape to the sides. That's up to you. But if you have some Elmer's glue or some other glue at the house, school glue, stick glue, just any other kids safe adhesive should be, did that go off? No, I'm still on the screen. Should be good. Yeah, I'm getting to the bottom of mine. I'm gonna have to switch over to my other glue too. It gets to be kind of difficult to get the glue out. So I'm gonna that kind of color to stick out a little bit. And if you need to adjust, you can like this one right here. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. You can adjust as you go as needed. Throw that away. And I'm gonna stick that back under here. I'm gonna move this blue down a little bit. And then put this one back up here. And this one back up here. There we go, like that. And remember that glue will dry clear. Do not even worry about it being in the, you know, if you see it in a couple spots you don't want to see it in. There we go. So there's mine. Okay, I'll bring this back in. Very similar. My background is in. So I'll give you a few more minutes to get that in there. And if you need to adjust it, like I said, the glue is still light. It's still a little bit wet. I'm gonna go in and adjust this blue because I think it's kind of weird. It was looking kind of weird on mine. I don't think I'm doing that much better, but there we go. So see, it's not perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just want it to be on this. So let's do your background. So we're going to do some other things to it to kind of add, you know, build it up a little bit or add a little bit more to it. So before we move on, everyone doing okay with the layers?
So far, they're doing okay. It's just a lot of people running out of the glue.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna adjust this other blue here. It does, it is it's something I will take that feedback back to the team. So we can let them know that we, make sure we get more glue next time in here. I'm actually going to, instead of struggling with this clear, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my glue pen. I will say, if you do a lot of crafts at the house, these glue pens, this is a great item to go ahead and have on hand. You get either, I think it's 5 in a box, it might be 6, but it's 5. I think it's 5. And it's just a Creatology craft glue. It's where the glitter glue is in the store in our basic kids section. Where the glitter is, and then above that, there's some glitter glue in boxes. And these are, it is just the craft glue, and it's the first one hanging on the peg. It's such a great item to have. And it works on a lot of things. You can glue, I've done foam to wood, pom-poms to wood, pom-poms to foam. I did the test. I wanted to see how good this glue is. I glued everything to everything in the kids department, and it works great with felt to pom-pom, felt to felt, wood to wood. It is a great item to have, and it's not super expensive, and you get a lot of it for what I think it's $3 or $4.99 for a box. I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And like I said, you get 5 or 6 of these sticks, these little pins, and it has the little nozzle on there on the end. So you can see it's easy to, if you do any kids jewelry, I use this when I make kids jewelry, when I do the jewelry classes. It's a great item. So there's my little public service announcement for the Creatology glue. Okay, so let's work on our sun next. So if you let's see, where's my pencil? Okay, so you'll need your template. You'll need to punch out all the little triangles in the circle in the middle. And then we're going to trace it onto whatever color you want your sun. Now I'm going to do mine backwards. That way I'm drawing on the back, but it's a sun. It can go either way. So I'm just going to start tracing all of the pieces. I know if you guys aren't to this point yet, that's okay. Just stop and take a look at what I'm doing, because from now on, we're just assembling our.
We also have a nice suggestion.
Uh-huh.
If you don't want to get glue on your fingers, you can use a little extra scrap that is going into the trash anyways to clean it up.
There you go. That's a good idea. So I'm just tracing all the little shapes, all the little triangles. That's my pencil. The other nice thing about doing it on the going backwards is if you mess up, like if you accidentally go across, it will be on the back of your sun. But these are triangles. You can always just turn it around, so it's not that big a deal if you don't do it backwards. Don't worry about it. Okay, so there I have my sun. And my pencil is off to the side. And then I'm just going to cut out my sun. So if your template, you didn't have your template, I mean, you can just find something around the house, maybe I don't know, maybe a coaster is too big, but something that's round that you can trace. Or you can just do your best circle there. And then just cut and draw some triangles. I know I ran out of space here, so I didn't do it so large, but and you can do your triangle. So there you go. You're making your own little sun. So the good thing is it's not a super difficult template to follow. It's triangles and circles. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, I just sketched that out right there. And let me tell you, I'm not that great of a drawer. So there is option 2. If you couldn't find your template. So now I'm just going to cut out, and I'm going to go a little bit outside my line instead of right on top of my line, just so it's just a little bit bigger. You can see I'm going around my circle. And I'll go back and get all my triangles. And my circle's not perfect, but it's looks good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on, just so I don't get lost on my doing my triangles here. And then just, oops. Put my circle on. And then I'm gonna do my triangles. Now I go and do my triangles a little bit different way than a lot of people do. So you can cut them out individually, or you can copy what I'm doing. Because I just like to do things a little bit more difficult sometimes. I'm just going across the bottom. For me, this is easier, but for other people, it may not be as easy. And that way, all I have to do is snip, 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 snip. And these foam is a little bit staticky, so you may find them stick to your scissors or your fingers. Then once we get all of our triangles cut out, we'll start gluing them around. And if you can tell, I'm just keeping a pile. I'm not keeping them in the same order they were in. That's up to you if you would like to keep them in the same order. I do not worry. I did not worry about that when I cut these. So, but like I said, if you want yours in the same order, just kind of plan them out around your table. You can tell some of mine ended up being a little bit bigger than what was originally penciled on, but that's okay. These are going to go in any kind of order anyways. Cut off that point there. And a weird point on there. I have a couple weird points on some of those. I'll go back and clean up. Last one. Okay, I'm gonna get all these little pieces out of the way. You want to keep your pieces close in case you need a couple more triangles. Your spacing gets off. Okay. So like this one has a weird little point to it. So I'm just going to clean that point up. And then not the worst thing if it has a little weird point to it, but just turning them around. What I'm going to do is find some of my bigger ones and find some of my smaller ones so I know which ones go in the middle. But really, at the end of the day, I'm good with it. Anyway, my little guy comes out. So I'm just going to put a couple dots, glue dots around. That's where I'll put my triangles. I'm just spacing them out the best I can. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be the way it is on mine. Okay. I don't know if that's how many triangles I have. So, but remember, this dries clear. So don't worry if your triangles, or if you miss I'm looking for a skinny one to go right here in the middle. And a tiny one to go between those two. And then, like I said, I can adjust these as we go if I need to. And I'm putting the ones with the pencil, I'm putting the side with the pencil marks to the back. Oops. Well, there we go. I'm gonna put this one over here. It's a little bit bigger. The little one, I'm gonna put that little one there. Let me put my last little one right here. Feel like I need. See, I'm just gonna move this one over here. Then I'm just gonna space these over a little bit closer. Use my finger to clean that little glue piece up. Okay, there's my little sun. The sun was a little bit of a challenge. The little pieces, but we got there. Okay. Then the next thing we are going to do is we're going to add a little bit of these little chenille stems in. If you want to, you don't have to do this part. I think it's a little, just a little bit of an extra little detail. And I'm just tracing kind of the groove of the curves of this one here. Then I'm going to add some glue. Like this. And then I'm going to push this on here, and you got to hold it for a few. Oh, my little sun pieces are kind of floating around because they're still drying. This is going to take a minute. It's wet glue and chenille stems, you know, sometimes it takes a minute. And here, let me trim this end here. See if that helps. Hold it in place. That might be something you'll want to add later, because it does not want to dry and hold place right now. At least on mine, it doesn't. Oops, I think I had that backwards. Well, there we go. I'm gonna blow on there. So just get it to hold. I'm just blowing it as I leave it on there. Well, that one does not want to stay. You may want to tape it down so it can, you know, dry, and then you can remove the tape. That's up to you. We'll go ahead and we can go ahead and add that towards the end if you want to add more on there. And go ahead and just kind of plan how you want, if you want any of these. I think it looks great without it personally, but that's my opinion. It just adds a little bit of extra detail. It's up to you. That guy does not want to stay on there. It's all nice and gross. It's all full of glue. I'm going to take that off for right now. If you want to go back and do that later, you can add that. I just think it's taking a little bit while to dry. And now we are going to just add details as in our stickers. So you can add a dinosaur, you can add a unicorn. Since I did a unicorn on this one, I'm going to do a dinosaur on this one. I got a dinosaur, and there's several sheets of these stickers in there. So if you've used some of them for other projects this week, then you don't need to add them to this one. And then, like, if you want to do some flowers in your dinosaur's pathway, so it looks Nice and pretty. That's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to add a rainbow because I just like rainbows. I'm going to put my rainbow off to the side. And if you want yourself a cloudy day, add some cute little clouds to give it a little bit more detail here. Mine is sticking to the paper. Well, come on now. There we go. I'm gonna put it on my sun, a little bit on the sun there. Make a low hanging cloud. Add some more flowers to the walkway here. Because why not? Give him a little bit of an obstacle as he's skating on his merry way. And you can add a leaf if you want to, like it's pretend like there's a tree coming into the scene here. And there is my scene. Now you want to just let this set it aside and let it dry all the way. That glue is pretty wet still. You know, stickers are, good thing about the stickers is they're nice and they're easy to place on. So what do we think about this project? Pretty fun, yeah? I'm sorry the glue wasn't enough glue, but I'm definitely gonna take that feedback back to the team members. And it was hard to get the chenille stem on there to let it dry, but if you would like to go back through and do that and hold it on there and let it dry for a few minutes or get some tape and tape it down. I don't have anywhere I am right now, so I couldn't do that.
We do have a suggestion, hold the chenille stem in place with a clip, like the clothespin, and then until that dries. And then we do have a couple of people saying it was very fun or sort of fun.
Great, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Thank you for the suggestions. And I'm glad you guys had a great time. I had a great time crafting with y'all. I know we have a few more minutes of any questions or anything. Then I will definitely take that feedback back to the team to let them know that this was a fun craft. A couple of challenges that we had was the glue. Not having enough glue. I think the sun, not having the sun template was a little bit of a challenge, but it worked out okay with being able to hand draw, since that was a fairly easy graphic. I mean, it wasn't super easy with all the little bitty triangles, but it was fairly okay. It wasn't too involved, which made it a little bit easier. If you want to add, you can have a parent poke some holes here and then add a piece of like the chenille stem or whatever, so it can be, you can hang it up. Actually, you can probably just poke through it. Let's see. I had several. If you wanted to hang this up, which I'm going to poke through. Let's see if I can poke through. Yep, there we go. I'm going to poke through like this. It's a bonus part of the project. Then I'm just going to twist that edge, twist that on there. And then I'll do it one more time on the other side so you can see. I think I froze a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the stem and I'm poking it through. Then I'm going to fold it up and then just twist around this top part here. And now you can hang it from your doorknob or from your bulletin board. That was just a bonus, not part of the project, just a little bonus part.
We do have a question about the kit. They're asking, would they be using the same kit next week?
No, there's a new kit for each week. Now it's on sale this week for $9.99. I actually had to go buy one myself. And it was $9.99 from normally $14.99 in the US. And it's $9.99 this week, and that's until Saturday, end of day Saturday. So by tomorrow night, by closing, you can get it for $9.99. But each week has a color, and honestly, I don't know what next week's color is, but this week's was purple. So I should, I don't have the schedule in front of me, and I'm not sure because we have different people teaching every class. I'm actually teaching the beaded shark, and I think that's in 2 weeks. I think that's the 5th. So join me. Can't wait to see you guys. And and I think that one might be I want to say it's the blue box, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what color the boxes are for, but there's a green one, a purple one, and they're for each week. And so you'll get a new set of materials but the kits are great because, they're great for this. You have it for the whole week. It's got the scissors, which are decent scissors for kids. Not enough glue, but the glue is pretty good that they do provide. So hope that helps. And it looks like we have a few more minutes, but if we want to go ahead and if there weren't any questions, I'll go ahead and sign off. And thank you guys for crafting with me this afternoon. I had fun, and enjoy your weekend.